Hello and namaste. Myself Ramesh Bhandari. Today I'm here to discuss on a topic of classification of a bacteria. The bacteria which is found in these natures are classified in different categories. A different criteria has been set in order to classify the bacteria. The first criteria for the classification of a bacteria, it is based on their shape. Suppose if the shape of a bacteria it is a spherical shape or the round shape, then the bacteria are called cocci. If the shape of a bacteria it is rod shape, then bacteria are called bacilli. Similarly, another criteria for the classification of a bacteria it is based on their arrangement. Some of the bacteria which is found in these natures that appears in a grape-like cluster in a gram staining. Those bacteria they are known as a staphylococcus, while those bacteria or those cocci which they are arranged in a long chain, then those bacteria they are known as a streptococci. While some of the bacteria they are arranged in a Chinese Latin pattern, then they are known as a Corynebacterium diphtheria. And another criteria for the classification of a bacteria, it is based on the staining techniques. Generally, in a microbiology, we most commonly we use two staining techniques. One is the gram staining, and another is the gel-nansol staining or the J10 staining or the acid-fast staining. Based on the gram staining, we classified the whole the groups of a bacteria into broad category, that is a gram-positive bacteria and gram-negative bacteria. Those bacteria which they retains the color of a primary stain, that is a crystal violet, and appears in the purple shapes, those bacteria are known as a gram-positive bacteria, while those bacteria which they retains the color of a counter stains, that is safranin or the neutral red, and appears in a pink color, then those bacteria are known as a gram-negative bacteria. Well, in case of a J10 staining or the acid-fast staining, those bacteria on the basis of acid-fast staining or the gel-nansol staining techniques, we also classified the whole the groups of a bacteria, whole the medical importance group of a bacteria in two categories, that is acid-fast bacteria and another is a non-acid-fast bacteria. Those bacteria which they retains the color of a primary stain, that is carbon fuchsin, and appears as a pink color, then those bacteria are known as a acid-fast bacteria. While that which they retains the color of a counter stain, that is methylene blue, and appears in a blue colors, then they are known as a non-acid-fast bacteria. And another criteria for the classification of a bacteria, it is the presence of cell wall or the absence of cell wall. Some of the bacteria, they lack the cell wall. They are known as a cell wall deficient bacteria. The example is a mycoplasma. While all the bacteria except the mycoplasma species, they have a cell wall. They are known as cell walled bacteria. So that based on the presence of cell wall or the absence of cell wall, the bacteria can be classified into the cell walled bacteria and non-cell walled bacteria or the cell wall deficient bacteria. And on the basis of a presence, another criteria on the basis of presence of flagella, those bacteria which they have a locomotory organ, that is flagella, which is present on their body, then those bacteria which they have a flagella, they are known as a flagellated bacteria. While those bacteria which they lack the flagella, for the locomotive as a locomotive organs, they are known as a non-flagellated bacteria. So, and another criteria for the classification of a bacteria, it is based on their ability to synthesize their food. Those bacteria which can synthesize their own foods, they are known as a autotrophic bacteria, while those bacteria which they depends upon the others for the food, for the nutritions, they are known as the heterotrophic bacteria. And another criteria for the classification of a bacteria, it is based on the utilization of oxygens. Those bacteria which they utilize the oxygens, they are known as aerobic bacteria, while those bacteria which they do not utilize the oxygen for their optimum growth, they are known as a non-aerobic bacteria or anaerobic bacteria. And another criteria for the classification of a bacteria, it is based on the temperatures. Some of the bacteria can grow from 0 degrees Celsius to above 122 degrees Celsius or above, based on their ability to grow on a different temperatures. They are further classified into psychrophiles, mesophiles, and thermophiles. And another criteria for the classification of a bacteria, it is based on the presence of a capsules. Those bacteria which they have a capsules outside their cell wall, they are known as a capsulated bacteria, while those bacteria which they lacks the capsule outside their cell wall, they are known as a non-capsulated bacteria. And another criteria for the classification of a bacteria, it is based on the presence of spores. Those bacteria which they have spores, they are known as spore forming bacteria, while those bacteria which they do not have spores, then they are known as a non-spore forming bacteria. Now we will elaborate each classification of a bacteria with the examples. First, classification of a bacteria, it is based on the shape. Those bacteria which they appears in a, this is the classification of a bacteria based on their shape. Those bacteria which they appears in a spherical shapes or the round shape or the berry shape or the grape shapes, those bacteria are known as a cocci. Bacteria with the round or the spherical shape, then they are known as a cocci. The most common examples are the Staphylococcus aureus, Streptococcus pyogenes, or the Streptococcus pneumoniae. Those bacteria with their shape it is rod shape, and their ends are rounded. Bacteria with the rod shape and with the rounded ends, they are known as a bacilli. Examples are the Klebsiella, Escherichia coli, Pseudomonas, Salmonella, Shigella, Enterobacter, Ewardsia, Serratia, Proteus. These all are the bacilli. While that occurs, some of the bacteria with their shape are rod shape. Shape is rod, the body is rod, but their ends are pointed. But their ends, that is the upper end and the lower end, are pointed in nature. Then those bacteria are known as a rod-shaped bacilli with the pointed ends. These types of bacteria are known as a fusobacterium or the fusiform bacteria. Examples are the Fusobacterium nucleatum. Some of the bacteria with their long and thin, long cylindrical, but they have and their body is coiled. The distance between these two coils, these two coils are equal, means they have a regular, they coil at the regular interval of the time, at the regular distance. This the the distance from this first coiling and this second coiling is, suppose it is 1 microliter. The distance between the second coiling of a bacteria and third coiling of the bacteria, it is also 1 microliter. The distance between the third coiling and fourth coiling is also 1 microliter. Means long and thin bacterium with the with 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 their coil at the regular interval of the time, at the regular interval, at the regular distance, these types of bacteria are known as spirochetes. The examples are the Borrelia or the Treponema pallidum. Some of the bacteria with their shape, so the sun rays like radiating. If you see on this area, you see like some of the like radiation, like rays, some sun rays like appearance. Sun rays are radiating. Those bacteria, they have a shape, they give the shape of sun rays like appearance on a gram staining. These types of bacteria are known as actinomycetes. Example is actinomyces brasiliensis. Some of the bacteria, they appear in a coma shape structures. They appear in a coma shape structures. These types of bacteria are known as vibrios. Examples are the Vibrio cholera. Some of the bacteria, they appear in a oval shape structures. They are imbued in their shape is neither the cocci or neither the bacilli, but they are imbued in their shape is imbued in the coccus and bacillus. These types of bacteria, that is the fusion of a cocci plus bacilli, these types of bacteria are known as a coccobacilli. Examples are the Haemophilus influenza, the Bordetella pertussis, or the Brucella species. Some of the bacteria, they are long and thin, but and so coiling, but the coiling, the distance between these two coiling is not regular, is not at the regular interval of the time. Suppose the coiling at the coiling is 1 microliter from 1 to 2, but from 2 to 3 it is around, suppose, 3 microliters. This was the coiling like that, the data for spirochetes, but the distance, it is not equal. So types of bacteria are known as the spirilla, or we can say these are the bacteria with they appears in a S shape. They appears in a S shape. These types of bacteria are known as a spirilla or the spiral. Examples are the Spirilla minus, or the Helicobacter, or the Campylobacter. Another methods for the classification of a bacteria, it is based on their arrangement. Some of the cocci, they are arranged in a pairs. Cocci, they are arranged in a pair, in a group of 2. These are known as a diplococci. Examples are the Streptococcus pneumoniae, Neisseria meningitidis, Neisseria gonorrhea. Some of these cocci, they are arranged in a groups of 4. They are known as the tetrads, and these tetrads are the micrococcus. Bacteria, with they are arranged in a group of 4, or they arranged in a group of 4, that is tetrads, and the example is a micrococcus. Some of the bacteria, some of the cocci, they are arranged in a long chain, These types of bacteria, they are known as a streptococcus. Cocci, some of the cocci, they are arranged in a grape-like clusters. In a grape-like clusters, these are known as a Staphylococcus. Some of the bacteria, they are arranged in a Chinese Latin pattern, that is UVW shape. These types of bacteria are known as a Corynebacterium diphtheria. Some of the bacteria, they are arranged in a long bamboo-shaped structure. The bacilli, which they are arranged in a long bamboo-like sticks, they are known as a streptobacilli. They are known as a streptobacilli. Bacilli arranged in a chain, or the long bamboo-like structures, they are known as a streptobacilli. And another important methods of the classification of a bacteria, it is based on the staining techniques. Classification based on the Gram staining or the Gram reactions. Generally, based on the Gram staining, the bacteria can be classified into two major groups. One is Gram positive bacteria and another is a Gram negative bacteria. Those bacteria with their retains the color of a primary stains, that is crystal violet, and appears in a purple shapes, in a purple, and appears in the purple color, appears as a purple. These types of bacteria are known as a Gram positive bacteria. While those bacteria with the retains the color of a counter stain, that is safranin or the neutral red, and appears in a pink colors, they are known as the Gram negative bacteria. Now, the Gram positive bacteria are further classified on the basis of their shape. Those bacteria with the appears in a purple color with the rod shape. Bacteria which have a rod shaped structures and appear in a purple color, these are known as a Gram positive bacilli. Again, a purple color rod shaped bacteria, those bacteria which they are in the purple color and appears in a rod shapes, these are known as a Gram positive bacilli. While those bacteria which they are in a which they are in a purple color, but the shape it is round or the spherical or the cherry shapes, they are known as a Gram positive cocci. Cocci with the purple color. Cocci with the purple color, they are known as a Gram positive cocci. And what is the Gram negative bacteria? The Gram negative bacteria are also further classified based on their shape and the color they retain. Those bacteria which they retains the color of a counter stains, and if their shape is rod shape, then they are known as a Gram negative bacilli. If the bacteria retains the color of a counter stain, that is pink color, and appears and there appears in a shape of circular or the spherical or the round on a gram staining, then they are known as a Gram negative cocci. Here, like based on the Gram staining, we classified the bacteria into the Gram positive and Gram negative. Gram positive bacteria also further classified into the Gram positive bacilli and Gram positive cocci. Similarly, based on the Gram negative bacteria also further classified based on their shape, that is Gram negative bacilli, Gram negative bacteria with the rod shape, and cocci, Gram negative cocci. And another important methods of the classification of a bacteria, it is based on the Gill-Nansen staining techniques or the acid-fast staining techniques. Based on these staining techniques, the bacteria can be broadly classified into two major groups: acid-fast bacteria and non-acid-fast bacteria. Those bacteria which they retains the color of a primary stains of a gel lesion, that is a carbon fusin, and appears in the pink colors. These types of bacteria are known as a acid fast bacilli. Examples are the Mycobacterium tuberculosis and Mycobacterium leprae. Similarly, those bacteria with the retains the with the stain with the counter stains and appear in the blue colors. These types of bacteria are known as a non-acid fast bacteria. The examples of a non-acid fast bacteria are Staphylococcus or the Streptococcus or the Corynebacterium diphtheria. We can say the Corynebacterium diphtheria because it is a less acid fast bacteria. We can say Bacillus anthrax or all the groups of a bacteria except the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, Mycobacterium leprae, Corynebacterium diphtheria. They are the non-acid fast bacteria. Here, in the last, now, if you want to memorize the name of a gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria, there is some mnemonics is there to memorize the name of a gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. That is, to memorize the name of a gram-positive bacteria, that is a mnemonics is a class. C stands for the Clostridium tetani, Clostridium perfringens, or the Corynebacterium diphtheria. L stands for the Listeria monocytogenes, or the lactobacillus. A stands for the actinomycetes, or the anthrax bacillus. S stands for the Staphylococcus aureus, or the Staphylococcus epidermidis. Another S stands for the Streptococcus pyogenes, or the Streptococcus pneumoniae. And gram-negative bacteria are the mnemonics for the gram-negative bacilli. That is a KIPS. K stands for the Klebsiella species, E stands for the Escherichia coli, and another E stands for the Enterobacter or the Varicella. P stands for the Proteus, Popidentia or the Pseudomonas. S stands for the Salmonella or the Shigella. There are only the few gram-negative cocci. They are the Neisseria meningitidis and Neisseria gonorrhea and Moraxella catarrhasis. These are the 3 gram-negative cocci. Only 3 gram-negative cocci. They are the Neisseria meningitis, the Neisseria gonorrhea, and Moraxella catarrhalis. Another methods of the classification of a bacteria, it is based on the presence of flagella. Those bacteria which they have a flagella, they are known as a flagellated bacteria. While those bacteria which they are lacking of flagella, they are known as a non-flagellated bacteria. The flagellated bacteria, they are further classified based on the arrangement of a flagella on their body. If there is no any flagella, then they are known as atrichous. Examples are the Corynebacterium diphtheria, or the Staphylococcus aureus, or the Streptococcus. Some of the bacteria, they have a single flagella at a 1 in. Those bacteria which they have a single flagella at a 1 in, they are monotrichous. Mono means single. These types of bacteria, examples is a Vibrio cholera or Campylobacter. Some of the bacteria, they have a single flagella at the 2 in, 1 in and another in. Having a single flagella at the both the ends, they are known as amphitrichous. Example is Alcaligens fecalis. Some of the bacteria, they have a large number of flagella at a 1 in or in the both the in. It may be present on this only 1 in, or it may be present in both the ends. Large top flagella at a 1 in or in the both the in. These types of bacteria, these types of flagellar arrangement, it is known as a lophotrichous. Examples are the Spirella, or the Helicobacter pylori, or the Pseudomonas. In some of the bacteria, the flagella that are arranged on whole, they are arranged on whole the body parts. Flagella are distributed all over the body surface. These types of distribution of flagella, this is known as a peritrichous. This is a peritrichous. Examples are the Salmonella, Shigella, Salmonella, Escherichia coli, and Proteus. Again, I am going to repeat it. Based on the presence of flagella, the bacteria are further classified into the flagellated, those bacteria which they have a flagella, and non-flagellated, for those bacteria which they do not have a flagella. The flagellated bacteria, they are based on the distribution of a flagella. They are further classified into monotrichous, ambitrichous, lophotrichous, and peritrichous. Based on the classification of a bacteria based on their existence. Some of the bacteria, they can grow outside the cell, that is on a culture media, that is blood agar, chocolate agar, or the Newton agar. They do not require the cell. These types of bacteria, they are known as extracellular bacteria. Examples of the extracellular is Staphylococcus, Streptococcus, right? Some of the bacteria, they require the cell to grow. They grow inside the cell of a host. These are known as intracellular bacteria. Examples are the Rickettsia or the Chlamydia. And another methods for the classification of a bacteria, it is based on the presence of a cell wall. Those bacteria which they have a cell, they are known as cell-walled bacteria. While those bacteria which they do not have a cells, they are known as a cell wall deficient bacteria. The examples of a cell wall deficient bacteria, it is a Mycoplasma pneumoniae and Mycoplasma hominis. While that of a cell-walled bacteria are the Staphylococcus, Klebsiella, or Escherichia, and others. Or in a general, we can say all the bacteria except the Mycoplasma species, they are all the cell-walled bacteria. Only the Mycoplasma species, they are the cell wall deficient bacteria. And another methods for the classification of a bacteria, it is based on a utilization of oxygens. Those bacteria which they require the oxygens at the higher concentration for their growth, they are known as obligate aerobes. Examples are the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, the Nocardia species, or the Pseudomonas and Aeromonas species. These bacteria, they require the higher concentration of oxygens for their growth. So they are known as obligate aerobes. While those bacteria, they do not require the oxygens, we can grow, which they can grow in a trace amount of oxygens, or which they can grow in a presence of oxygen or in an absence of oxygens. They are known as anaerobic bacteria. Anaerobic bacteria are those which they do not require the oxygen to grow, or they require or very low concentration of oxygen to grow, or they can grow in a presence of oxygens or in an absence of oxygen. These types of bacteria are known as anaerobic bacteria. The anaerobic bacteria, they are further classified into the obligate anaerobes. These are the anaerobic bacteria which they do not require even in a trace amount of oxygen for their growth. If there is a presence of even in a trace amount of oxygens in a culture's medium, they cannot grow. They will die. Means these are the obligate anaerobes bacteria, are those bacteria which they cannot grow they do not require even in the trace amount of oxygen for their growth. These types of bacteria are known as obligate anaerobes bacteria. Examples are the Clostridium tetani, Bacteroides, Clostridium botulinum, Streptococcus, Streptococcus. And another is a facultative anaerobes. These are the bacteria which can grow in the presence of oxygens or in the absence of oxygens. It doesn't matter if there is a presence of oxygens or there is no oxygens. They can grow in any conditions, that is in the presence of oxygens or in an absence of oxygen. These types of bacteria, they are known as facultative anaerobes. Most of the pathogenic bacteria which they causes the human infections, they are facultative anaerobes in their natures. Examples are the Staphylococcus aureus, Streptococcus pyogenes, Escherichia coli, Porteus, Klebsiella, and others are also there. And another anaerobic bacteria is microaerophilic. The word micro itself, it indicates for the small. Aero means the air, philic means loving. These are the bacteria which they require a trace amount of oxygens for their growth. They do not require the higher concentration like that of obligate aerobes. They require only the trace amount of oxygens for their growth. These are known as a microaerophilic bacteria. The examples are the Helicobacter pylori, Campylobacter jejuni, Treponema pallidum. In another groups of bacteria, it is aerotolerant anaerobes. These are the aero means the air, tolerant means can resist. These are the obligate anaerobes bacteria. But the growth of a bacteria will not be affected if there is a presence of oxygens. They do not utilize the oxygens. If there is a presence of oxygen, also they do not do not utilize the oxygen. They grow anaerobically. But the growth of a bacteria will not be affected. They do not utilize the oxygens for their growth. They do not require the oxygens for their growth. But the presence of oxygens will not hamper, will not kill the bacteria. These types of bacteria, they are known as aerotolerant bacteria. Examples are the Lactobacillus, Streptococcus, Clostridium perfringens, Clostridium histolyticum. And another methods for the classification of a bacteria, it is based on the nutrition. Those bacteria, some of the bacteria, they can synthesize their own foods. They are known as autotrophic bacteria. Examples are the nitromonas or the pheromonas. And those bacteria, most of the bacteria, they cannot synthesize their own foods, and they depend upon the others for the foods. They are known as heterotrophic bacteria. The examples are the Bacillus, Clostridium tetani, or the Corynebacterium diphtheria. Autotrophic bacteria, they are further classified into the photosynthetic and chemosynthetic bacteria. And heterotrophic bacteria, they are further classified into the saprophytic, parasitic, or the symbiotic bacteria. And another methods for the classification of a bacteria, it is based on their ability to grow on the different temperatures. Based on their growth, those bacteria which can grow in between the temperature of around the 0 to 20 degrees Celsius, they are known as the psychrophiles bacteria. Examples, it is a Bacillus cereus. And mesothermic bacteria, these are the bacteria which can grow between the temperature of around the 25 to around 45 degrees Celsius. These types of bacteria are known as mesothermic bacteria. Most of the bacteria which they causes the human infections, they are mesothermic in the natures. And thermophiles, thermophilic bacteria, these are the bacteria which can grow between the temperature of around the 45 degrees Celsius to around 122 degrees Celsius. These types of bacteria are known as a thermophilic bacteria. The examples is a Bacillus stereothermophilus or the Clostridium perfringens. Again, based on their ability to grow on the different temperatures, the bacteria are classified into psychrophilic bacteria, mesothermic bacteria, and thermophilic bacteria. Psychrophilic bacteria, they can grow between the temperature of around the 0 to 20 degrees Celsius. While that of a mesophilic bacteria, they can grow between the temperature of around the 25 to around 45 degrees Celsius. Most of the pathogens which causing the human infections, they comes under this category, that is a mesothermic bacteria. And thermophilic bacteria, they can grow between the temperature of around the 45 to around 122 degrees Celsius. And another category for the classification of a bacteria based on the presence of capsules. Those bacteria, which they have a capsule outside their cell wall, they are known as a capsulated bacteria. And those bacteria, which they do not have a capsule outside their cell wall, they are known as a non-capsulated bacteria. The examples for the capsulated bacteria, that is Streptococcus pneumoniae, the Neisseria meningitis, and Neisseria gonorrhoeae, and another is a Bacillus anthrax. They are the capsulated bacteria. While that of a bacteria, which they do not have a capsules on their body, they are non-capsulated bacteria. Examples are the Escherichia coli, Shigella, Enterobacter. And another methods for the classification of a bacteria, it is based on their presence of a spores. Some of the bacteria, they can bear the spores, they can produce the spores. They are known as spore-related bacteria or the spore-forming bacteria. While those bacteria which they cannot produce the spores, they are known as a non-spore-related bacteria or the non-spore-forming bacteria. Spore-forming bacteria, they produce the exogenous spores or the endogenous spores. Maybe the exogenous types or maybe the endogenous types. Examples are the Clostridium tetani or the Bacillus anthrax. They are the spore-forming bacteria. Clostridium tetani, Clostridium perfringens, Clostridium botulinum, Bacillus anthrax, they are the spore-forming bacteria. While those bacteria, which they do not possess the spores, they are known as a non-spore-forming bacteria. The examples is Escherichia coli, Staphylococcus, Streptococcus, Citrobacter, Klebsiella, Salmonella, Shigella, Enterobacter, Ewardsella, Pseudomonas, Proteus, Providentia. All these bacteria are non-spore-related bacteria, non-spore-forming bacteria. Thank you for watching this video. We'll discuss the classification of viruses and classification of fungus and parasites on a next video. Thank you for watching and listening this video.